Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again I'm coming to you with another range report, and this is kind of a special range report. This is the first range report that I'm making since YouTube took down my main channel, and as you can see, I'm also in a different location. Today I'm going to be filming from the vault. Yeah, it's too cold outside in the garage to film this, and also you're going to have to put up with my voice. I'm getting over a sinus infection. But today we're going to be doing a range report on this awesome Sig Sauer pistol. This is the SIG P320 DH3. Yeah, this is one of the new offerings from SIG. It's a higher end version of the 320. And as always, I want to thank the people that make these videos possible. First and foremost is going to be the owner of this awesome pistol. His name is Roy. He's a local fan and subscriber of the channel. So thank you so much, Roy, for giving me the opportunity to shoot this awesome pistol. And as always, I want to thank my Patreon supporters, because through their monthly donation and support, they help keep the lights on around here. Literally, because you guys know YouTube is not a firearms content friendly platform, and they're always trying to deplatform firearms channels, and so their donations go a long way in helping me keep this content coming. So let's go ahead and talk about what this awesome pistol is. Now obviously this is a full-size 320, and according to SIG's website, it is inspired by the Legion. Now, the Legion version of the 320 is kind of the top of the line version that they try to sell. So this is inspired by the Legion, so it has many of the Legion features, but is not a Legion. And I think the biggest difference between the Legion and this gun is the trigger. Now, the name DH3 comes from the designer who helped them come up with this platform, and his name is Dan Horner, and I guess he's a very famous firearms trainer, and he came up with this design. And the design of this is supposed to be built around somebody that is looking for kind of a dual-purpose pistol, somebody that might be into competition shooting, but also looking for something for self-defense and practical use. So you have a lot of upgraded features for competition, but you have a gun that is well suited for carry and home defense. And as you can see, it is in my favorite color. So let's go ahead and talk about what I like and don't like about this particular pistol. First and foremost, it's a SIG. SIG is just one of those companies that I have really fallen in love with the past couple of years, because I really think that they have been churning out some of the best products out there. And, you know, they've been getting many of the military contracts as well. So that says a lot about their company. I've already mentioned I love the color, and I really like the aesthetics of this pistol as well. And also take a look at those sights. Yeah, those are the suppressor height sights. Now, this does not have a threaded barrel, but I sure like those suppressor height sights. It makes the gun look a little bit more balanced, and I find that you can see those a little bit easier. Now, when it comes to this frame, I think this is really what makes this gun very, very special. This is the tungsten infused frame. So it's made of a polymer, but it really feels more like a metal. And then we have this silicon carbide texturing on the outside of the grip. And that's supposed to give you some great purchase. Yeah, as you can see, it's very, very gritty. It has a great look. And if you like that sandpaper look, you're going to like that a whole bunch. And as you can also see, it has one of these really nice jet funnels on it. And I have to say that I really like these tungsten infused frames. In fact, I have a P320 that I built myself, and I used the tungsten frame as well. They just feel really, really good in the hand, and I really like the shape of them. I really feel like they took some time to come up with some good ergonomics. So this frame is just absolutely awesome and feels great, great in the hand. So let's now talk about one thing about this gun that I'm not really a huge fan of, and that is going to be the trigger. And as you can see, it has the flat face trigger, and yes, SIG really likes to push those in these P320s. I understand why. I know a lot of people really like them. I'm okay with flat face triggers if they're in 1911s where that trigger can come straight back, but if they're hinged, I don't always like it. And I have to say, if I do dry fire this, as compared to the other high-end 320s that I've shot from the custom shop, this one seems to have kind of like a regular trigger in it. It's kind of mushy. The reset, a little bit long. it doesn't feel like a custom works trigger at all. It kind of feels like it's just a standard trigger in there. So I'm really surprised that they would ask as much for this, but give you that trigger. But that seems to be the only thing in this gun that I don't like. Everything else about it I think is great. And I really like this platform. All right, so let's get this thing to the range. Let's see how it shoots. I'm gonna load up one of these magazines with 20 rounds. We're gonna put the target out like always at 7 yards. I wanna get my first impression, see how good the sights are, what the recoil's like, how the trigger really does perform, if I have any issues, and report back to you guys. So, once again, 20 rounds, 7 yards, and let's just see how this thing shoots. Well, wow, that was unexpected. I think this might be the best shooting gun I've ever reviewed here on the Texas Gun Vault. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I expected this thing to shoot really well, but the results of that really surprised me. This gun feels very natural in the hand, and even with that kind of mushy trigger, it responds great. The gun has a very low recoil, and I cannot complain with how I shoot it. So, wow, just right out of the box, that was my very first magazine. Well, now I have extremely high expectations for this, and I understand why a lot of people are wanting this pistol. All right, so let's set the target out now at double the distance at about 15 yards. I'm going to go for the head on this IDPA target, see if I discover anything else, and if the gun continues to shoot this good. And the gun is still shooting great for me. Now, there was something that I did notice, especially when I was reviewing the footage, is that some of the rounds had kind of a weak ejection. Now, when I went to the range, I kind of had a hodgepodge of loose ammo that I had kind of put all in one bag. And I guess just the different loadings or the different manufacturers have different results. Now, I do know that SIG provides multiple recoil springs with this gun, depending on the type of ammo that you're using. So I'm not sure which one is in here, but you probably have to play around with that. But even the slower or the weaker ammo cycled okay. We just had some weak ejections, but no other issues besides that. So that's just something to take note of. All right, so because this gun is designed as both a practical and a competition gun, I'm going to do two of my usual tests. Well, if you do carry this or are going to use it for home defense, you want to make sure it can run hollow points. So next up, we're going to use some Remington Golden Saber just to make sure that that it runs through this gun, see if we have any other issues now with the weak ejection, but I really doubt it. And as I said, if you're going to carry this, you probably want to carry some hollow points. So let's see how it performs, and then we'll move on to see how fast this thing can shoot. And as expected, there were no issues and the gun still shot accurately. All right, so the next test is the quick magazine change. Now remember, I am not a competition shooter. You probably are, so you can probably do this a lot faster. But if an average gun guy like me can get this magazine out of this gun, get a new one reinserted, get the gun back in action, and shoot the gun fast, well, if you train for this, I know you are going to be great at it as well, and even better than me. So let's see what me as an average gun guy can do and how fast I can shoot this thing. And what else can I say? Man, I can shoot this thing fast. I only had one little hiccup in there, and that's just because the trigger just has a little bit longer reset than maybe some of the other performance triggers for the P320. But getting this magazine in and out of this gun was really quick. When you drop that magazine, it shoots right out there, and this jet funnel makes reinsertion so much easier than not having one. So I'm really impressed with that. The gun shoots great. Man, I am loving this thing more and more. So now I want to give my wife Becky a chance to shoot this. She likes to shoot everything that comes through the Texas Gun Vault. And by the way, she recently started her own Instagram and Facebook, the Texas Gun Princess. And if you guys want to follow her, I'm going to put a link in the comment section. Go over there, give her a like, and she would really appreciate it. She wants to try to make content that's geared more towards women and her journey through the Second Amendment. And I really want to support her. So if you guys want to support her, go over there and check that out as well. But let's get this in her hands and see how she does and what she thinks. And I think she shot it pretty well herself. She actually really liked this grip. And if you guys follow me here, you guys know every time I let her shoot a gun, especially with this sandpaper type grip, she doesn't like it. But she likes this one for some reason. She likes how it feels, how it shoots. We did have a little bit more of that weak ejection, but I think that could be solved by changing out that recoil spring. But we also had one issue at the end where the slide didn't lock back. And once again, I really believe that is just the recoil spring and nothing else. I'm not really concerned. I just know it has to deal with the ammo that I had and the recoil spring, and that is it. Now, there was something very interesting that happened after she shot this. This is one of the very few guns that she looked at me and said, I want one. I was like, what? You don't even like the color? You don't like the sandpaper grip? She goes, that gun shoots great. That is just such a fun gun to shoot. So that really surprised me. I honestly didn't really think she'd like it at all, but she did. So that just says a lot about how awesome this gun is and the trigger time behind it and how pleasurable it is. It is just a fun gun to shoot. It's very responsive. It does exactly what you want it to do. It's super accurate. It feels great in the hand. Well, I can't talk this thing up enough, and neither can my wife. So what are my final thoughts on the DH3 by Sig Sauer? Well, this was a gun that I was expecting just to go, it's another P320. It's a good gun. It shoots okay. I was not expecting to shoot this gun so well and to have so much fun at the range with it. And I've shot a number of different versions of the P320, and I honestly think this is the nicest one. Just hands down, this thing exceeded my expectations. Very, very impressed with it. And as I said, the only issue is just that recoil spring, and they do provide one of a different weight in the box that you can change it out depending on what you're shooting. So I'm 100% sure that was the only issue. But because they provide the recoil spring, I'm not going to deduct points. I just didn't change it out. So that's more on me. But this gun exceeded my expectations. And dry firing it, as I mentioned, I didn't think I would like the trigger. I didn't think I would shoot it that well, but it works really well in this platform. This tungsten infused frame is heavy. It mitigates the recoil. This sandpaper like silicon carbide really works well. It has that sandpapery texture, but to me, it's not too offensive in my hands. I love the aesthetics of this gun. Yeah, the whole package really, really surprised me. I think the only thing that the owner of this gun said he was disappointed with was the box. This doesn't come in one of those nice Legion type boxes. It's just one of those silver classic SIG boxes. So for as much as you pay for this, you kind of expect something a little bit nicer in the packaging. But I guess what you get in the box, which is this gun, is awesome. And you have zero complaints from me. So on my star system, how would I rate the DH3 from Sig Sauer? Well, it exceeded my expectations, and that first magazine was such a pleasant surprise. I'm going to have to easily give this thing 5 out of 5 stars. It is another perfect review. Yeah, so if you can get your hands on one of these DH3s, I would recommend it. I know they can be a little bit on the pricey side, but I think when it comes to the amount of gun you get for the dollar, this is the best that SIG has right now in the 320. I am just blown away and so impressed with this gun. So much fun, and even my wife wants one. So yeah, that says a lot. So 5 out of 5 stars for the SIG DH3 P320 from the SIG Custom Works. Yeah, what a great gun, and such a pleasure to shoot. Thank you so much, Roy, for lending this to the channel. It has been an absolute honor, and I will get this cleaned up and back to you as soon as I possibly can. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys want one of these DH3s? Do you already own a 320? And what do you think of this platform? So let me know in the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching.